What if I told you that just one book can make you over $10,000 per month? This isn't just theory, many publishers are already doing it. In fact, I think this is the new best way to build your Amazon KDP business right now. Whether you're just getting started with KDP or you've been in it for a while, in this video, I'm going to show you what I think is the best way to go from zero to over 10K per month. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Sean. I made over $1.7 million in royalties publishing my own books through Amazon KDP. Amazon KDP absolutely changed my life, and I genuinely think that this is one of, if not the best online business for beginners or anyone to get started with. And the reason why I think that is because number one, you're selling a digital product. This is way simpler and easier for beginners compared to if you're selling a service or a physical product. Plus you have way higher profit margin. Number two is you're selling on Amazon, the biggest online retail store in the world. And that comes with a lot of perks, like being able to tap into the tons of existing customers shopping on Amazon every single day. And also Amazon doing a lot of things for you, like doing the printing of the book, shipping and handling, holding the inventory, even customer service. All the things you normally have to do as a business owner, Amazon is doing it for you, which means you don't have to. So it's an amazing business model, but things are changing. I think the way people built this business compared to how you should build it now is very different. So before, people took the volume approach, right? They published a ton of books and each book made a little bit, maybe, $100 here, a couple $100 there. And people said, oh, okay, so one book is making $100. If I publish 100 more books, then that means I'm doing 10K per month, right? So people took the volume approach. Now, what happened here is this caused Amazon to get more and more strict on the content that are being uploaded to Amazon, right? Because people focus so much on the volume of the books that they're uploading that they neglected quality. So Amazon got flooded with all these books that weren't so good, which eventually became a problem, and they had to be more strict in terms of the content quality. But now this is changing, right? Now, I think one book can be enough. And I say can in parentheses because this doesn't mean that you just upload one book and it's guaranteed, making over 10K per month. That's not the case. Maybe you have to publish a couple books, right? Just to hit that one home run books that does really good. But that doesn't change the fact that one book really can be enough. Because right now, quality scales significantly faster than volume. Because of the change in the Amazon algorithm, the new strategies popping up where you can really push one book hard. So quality, if you got one really good book, that beats 1,000 mediocre books. And I'll obviously back up everything here, throughout the video. But this aligns with Amazon's goal of selling high quality products and making the customer happy. It aligns with what Amazon's trying to do. Amazon much rather have less books being submitted, but each one being higher quality, right? So they will reward you for doing that. So if you are doing this, then it aligns with Amazon. They will like you and everything will be way smoother for you. So let me walk you through step by step how I would do this if I was starting over right now. Step number one, we will start with topic research. So the whole concept of topic research, I talk about it a couple times in my other videos, but this concept doesn't change much, right? You have to find a topic that is proven to sell. You have to find a topic that has demand. Nothing else happens unless you do this, because a lot of people come into this business and they start writing a book without doing any market research. They didn't check if anybody's interested in that topic. And then they spend so much time and money creating the book. And then they're like, all right, I got this book. How can I get other people to want to buy this book? How can I get other people interested? Well, that's not how you do it. You don't check for interest or you don't check for demand after you're done writing the book. You check it first before you start writing the book, right? So writing a book no one wants, absolute waste of time. And so you cannot skip this step. Now, what I think did change in the topic research step is that I think finding a topic that is profitable and you're passionate about is becoming more important. So before I used to tell people, if you have to choose between your passion or whatever topic that is profitable, then obviously go with what's profitable, right? If you're trying to make money. If you can find something that's both you're passionate about, but also profitable, that's amazing. That's the best case scenario. But I think moving forward, finding this balance is more important because one of the best way to market your books right now is posting content consistently on social media. And it's much, much easier to show up and talk about your books if you actually enjoy the topic, if you actually have some sort of interest. So going into a topic that you're not interested at all, but it's profitable, right? That's going to be hard long-term to consistently create content. even if you can outsource these things, I think it'll be harder. So here's an example of someone who's consistently showing up, posting content about their book. It's called Inner Work. You can see he's the author over here, and he is consistently talking about it day after day, right? And he's making a lot of money. This one book is doing over 10K per month when I checked last time. Okay, so this is one proof that you can do over 10K per month. But don't you think it'll be hard showing up consistently like this if you don't care about the topic at all, right? So this is why my advice is find something that's profitable, but also you are at least somewhat interested in the topic. Now, if you really don't want to show your face like this, there are ways to do no face like this one. This is all AI generated images in a carousel style. And this works too. They're getting a lot of views. They're crushing it, right? So you can do this, but you still have to consistently show up and post content. Technically, you don't have to do social media. You can just rely on ads, but social media is very effective and I do recommend. So does the slide change when it comes to finding a topic? But this is not mandatory. To be completely honest, you can still go into a niche that is just profitable, you're not very passionate about, and do all of these things like social media marketing. And a lot of people are still absolutely crushing it doing that strategy. Another change when it comes to topic research is that I believe going into low competition niches is less important than ever. Right? I'd rather go into a high competition, high demand topic than a low competition, low demand topic, because I want the topic to be big enough to have viral potential. If you're doing social media marketing, the best thing about social media marketing is the fact that the videos can go viral and overnight you can make a crap ton of money if it goes viral. But that wouldn't happen if the market size is too small, which will happen if you go into a small niche just to avoid competition, right? So that's why I'd rather go into a very profitable, very big niche that's also competitive compared to trying to avoid competition and going into a small niche. Let me show you some examples here. So everything I'm talking about here, I'm trying to back it up with actual examples here. Okay, so this book right here, Emotional Intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one of the most known, saturated, generic keyword out there in the self-help space. And there are a lot of books that are making money, but it's also competitive, right? But this book, fairly new, came in and it's doing hundreds of dollars a month. Like this one book is doing 10K per month. And if you're like, why is that? How did they do it? Same thing, social media marketing, right? Consistently showing up, posting simple videos about your book. Some of these videos went viral, and then all of a sudden this book shot up in the ranking of emotional intelligence, outranking a lot of other books that were there for a very, very long time and captured a good chunk of market share. And this wouldn't happen if he was in a much smaller niche. Another example is this one. This person right here teaches people how to learn Spanish, right? She got 2 books. She only got 2 books here. And if you look at Amazon, this book is doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. It's crazy. Just from 2 books, last time I checked, she's doing like 500K a month. And it's the same thing. She's consistently showing up, talking about the book, and some of the videos went viral. And again, it wouldn't go viral, it wouldn't go crazy if the niche is small, but the language learning niche is huge. So again, bottom line, I'm trying to go into a bigger niche for this potential here. And don't worry, the secret is not doing TikTok. Like I'm showing you some TikTok examples here, but if you really don't want to post content yourself, if you really don't want to show your face, that's not the only way to do it. In fact, I'm going to show you how you can tap into this effect of social media without posting content yourself, without ever showing your face, which I'm going to cover later on. So to recap, go into high demand topics. The method to find high demand topics is the same. And if you need help with topic research, exactly how to do it, then I have so many videos on my channel covering this, so you can watch my other videos, or if you want hands-on help with this, you can check out my program. It's the first link in the description below. So once you find a profitable topic, that is hopefully also something that you are passionate about or at least interested in learning. Now we need to move on to step 2, which is creating the book. Now, when it comes to creating the book, the main thing, as I said in the beginning, is to create a great book, a high quality book, right? And before, when I started in this business, creating a book was kind of hard. It was kind of expensive, but there are ways to make this process much easier now. So here's what changed. AI is getting smarter and smarter and smarter very quickly, and it's making the publishing process faster, cheaper, and better if you know how to use it, right? A lot of people hate on AI automatically. A lot of people hate on me just for saying AI is good. It's super helpful. People tell me all the time that, oh, you're not a real writer or you're not an artist if you're using AI. AI books are lacking soul and this and that. The thing is, I never once said AI is going to write 100% of the book. You still got to use AI as a tool. You got to work with it, which means you are writing the book using AI for help, right? It's still your book. It's still you doing the work. It's not AI replacing you and completely doing everything for yourself, okay? Another thing is many of the books right now that are crushing it on Amazon are super simple to make. So there are a couple different types of books that you can create. This one is an example of a high content book, right? Like a 30,000 word nonfiction books, 162 pages. Well, this is just text inside. And these books, obviously you can write yourself, or you can easily hire ghostwriters to create the book for you. Well, the cool thing is even ghostwriting companies like the Urban Writers, which is what we use, they are coming up with a package where a real human, a ghostwriter, works with a AI writing tool, right, or AI, and go back and forth, which helps them write the book way faster. And because they can do it way faster, the cost of ghostwriting is actually going down. So it's like cheaper than before. Plus, it's not just pure AI, right? It's like AI plus a human working together, which is exactly what we want. So I'm assuming this book right here is 30,000 words. So if you also want a similar book, similar length, then it'll be basically 3 times of this, which is $510 to have a full book written. I think that's a pretty good price. That is half the price of what we used to pay, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. If you guys want to check out the Urban Writers, I'll leave a link in the description. So this is an example of, once again, a high content book that has a lot of text inside. If you don't want to create a book like this, or if for whatever reason $510 to outsource is still a lot, you can obviously write the book yourself, save that money, or you can create different types of books. As an example, guided journals. And this is why I said the top books that are killing it right now on Amazon are very easy to make, because guided journals are the type of books that are absolutely crushing it. This is one example. So Tell Me Your Life Story Mom. It's a mother's guided journal. So essentially, if you look inside here, there's some instructions on how to fill out the book. So there are some text over here. So we're not doing blank line journals, like completely blank, but there are a good chunk inside that are blank here, as you can see, right? Like super easy to create. Basically, you just go back and forth with some Canva journal templates, you know, and then you just use AI to get these texts or come up with the text yourself, whatever you want to do, make sure it's good again. But the point is, it's pretty simple and straightforward to make. And this one book is, again, doing over 10K per month. So you have two options, right? You can do high content, you can do low content, medium content, you know, whatever works. But if you want to go into guided journals, I do have a tutorial on how to create blank line journals. So it's not guided journals, it doesn't have any text inside, but I think this is a pretty good beginner tutorial, because all you have to do is follow the tutorial and then just add your own, you know, extra designs and content like text around this. So I think this video is pretty good. I'll leave a link to this video in the description so you can check it out later. Another option with guided journals, if you don't want to make the book yourself, you can actually completely outsource this process. Okay, because just like ghostwriters, there are people who will create these books for you, especially in Fiverr. So there are some gigs that I worked with in the past that are very highly rated, like this one. So this one over here, he will create one cover and interior. So basically the entire book for 75 bucks, which is kind of crazy, right? 75 bucks. Like this one right here, this sample is pretty much exactly what we just looked at, mother and daughter journal. So as you can see, he can create a book like that. Same as this one over here. This is another gig as an example. It'll cost around 90 bucks. I do recommend you contact them and see if they can make a book that you are thinking of. But these are some great options. Once again, if you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. So bottom line, there's a lot of options when it comes to creating these books. And again, the ones that are working right now, like the types of books that are selling extremely well, are also something that are pretty easy to make. So it's aligning really well here. But this is another thing, is should you use your pen name or real name? And I used to recommend to just use a pen name, but I'm starting to recommend using your real name or a brand name more and more. Because if you are going to talk about the book on social media, if you're going to show up in front of a camera, if you're going to show your book, right, and talk about it often, I think using your real name or a brand name would feel more natural. It would be weird if you're using a pen name, but you're showing your face and you're talking about it, right? I think there's a little disconnect that is happening. As an example, 100% of my books are all under a pen name. I don't have a single book that's under my real name, right? All the books under my real name that you might see on Amazon are not mine. Like, it's people who's using my name to try to trick other people to sell their books because I got an audience here. But anyways, if I would show up and talk about my books that are under a pen name, it'll be kind of weird. So that is why I'm considering to start a new brand that is under my real name, or maybe a brand name that I can create so that it'll feel more natural when I go and post on social media and stuff. So anyways, you found a profitable topic, right? And then you went on and create the book. Now, step 3 is uploading the book on Amazon KDP. So in terms of the uploading process, nothing really changed, right? It's the exact same. Go to Amazon KDP, create an account, upload, and then you're good to go. If you're brand new watching this, I do have a step-by-step tutorial of this video right here. So again, I'll leave a link in the description below. Once your book is uploaded and live on Amazon, then step 4 is to go through the launch. Now, here's what changed with the launch process, right? So before, launching the book properly was very, very important. And when I say launch, it means getting as many sales and reviews as possible within the first 30 days. Because the first 30 days of uploading the book, Amazon gives you a preferential treatment, basically shows your books to more people. They're basically trying to see if they should keep pushing the book or kill it, right? Drop it down to page 10, page 20 because it didn't perform. So the first 30 days, you have to show that your book performs, which is getting reviews, getting sales. So that Amazon sees that and they're like, oh, okay, this is a good book, it's getting sales, let's push it more, because they only want to push books that people like based on reviews and it gets sales, right? So that they can also make money too. So that's the whole point of the launch. And so launch was super, super important because before, if you had a bad launch, basically meant the book dies and you couldn't really recover it. Well, I don't think this is the case anymore, because now the way the Amazon's algorithm changed, you can essentially re-rank your book even if the initial launch failed or if you didn't do any launch at all, right? As long as you have a great book in a high demand topic. I wanted to put this here because I feel like a lot of people will misunderstand what I'm saying, right? And they will go and try and re-rank their book that's not that good. Nothing works if your book isn't good. But if you got a good book in a good niche, right? Everything else is solid besides you didn't do a launch or the launch didn't go as well for whatever reason. 9 times out of 10, you can re-rank it. So even if you miss the initial launch or if it didn't go as well as you planned, don't worry because there's a way to get back to it based on the algorithm, right? So I'm not saying you should skip the launch, right? You should definitely still launch your book, but it's not if it fails, it's all over type of thing. Like if the launch fails, the book is dead. It's not like that anymore. And the reason why is because ongoing marketing is more important. It's not about what you do in the first 30 days. It is what you do consistently over a long time, right? The way the Amazon's algorithm works now. So as long as you're getting reviews consistently over time, you're getting sales consistently over time, that is way better than doing everything, cramming everything in the first 30 days. And after the 30 days, you're not doing anything. So if you're wondering what is the best way to get reviews, well, there are many ways to get reviews. You can look up Sean Dowett reviews on YouTube. I got a bunch of videos on it. But one of the best ways, one of the easiest way is to use a site like Book Bounty. I'll just leave a link to the website in the description. You can read the website or watch my other videos to learn more about how it works. It's pretty self-explanatory. And as for how to get sales, running Amazon ads is still very effective. If you want a step-by-step beginner tutorial, I have a video that I filmed here. So again, the link is in the description. But here's the thing, Amazon ads used to be pretty much 100% the only way to market your book. Well, now you have options, right? So Amazon ads is still effective. You should still do it, but you can also do social media marketing, which is completely free. So this is another example of someone who is just, showcasing their book. Okay. And these books makes a lot of money for them. Like this book right here made a lot of money, like millions, right? This sold more than 1 million copies. So way, way more than 10K per month just from this one book. And if you think she's any different than what you're trying to do right now, right? You're like, oh, she's an authority figure. Oh, she has a brand or this and that. You know that she only has a brand. She only is an authority figure now because she started posting content. She started marketing the book and it went viral. Right? When she got started, she was exactly at the same place as you were now, right? So if she can do it, you can too. If I can do it, you can too, right? I'm not an authority figure, right? I succeeded without having any audience or any skills, this and that, you know what I mean? So the point is, if you're posting on social media, these are great videos to model from. You can watch her videos, watch her, page, and try to incorporate it into your own videos as well. So to recap of the publishing process up to this point, the entire publishing process doesn't really change much besides a small tweak in the approach as I mentioned throughout this video so far, right? But from this point, once you launch to your first book, right, this is where it gets different, because at this point, most people will go and start working on the next book, right? And then they will go and launch it, get reviews, run ads, do social media marketing, and then they're like, okay, this book is done. So let's go and work on the next one and rinse and repeat and keep making new books. Instead, I think the new way to do this, the new best way to do this is take this one book and scale it even further and just blow it up like crazy by moving on to step 5, which is scaling with TikTok Shop. So if your book is selling well at this point, going through the first 4 steps, it's selling well on Amazon, right? Then I think it's time to scale it to 10K plus per month. And the best and fastest way to do this right now, in my opinion, is TikTok Shop, because you can recruit other people to sell your books. Okay, you cannot do this anywhere else unless you go through TikTok Shop. And most top books on Amazon, if you look at all the bestsellers, right, not 100%, but a good chunk of them are using these strategies to boost their books. And that's why they're the top books right now. So I have a tool called Calidata, which allows me to do research for TikTok Shop and see how much other brands are making using this strategy, right? So I told you guys that I'll try to back up everything with real examples. Well, all the books and brands that I showed you as an example throughout this video, they were all on TikTok Shop, which I'm going to show you right here. So the first one over here, the Inner Work book, right? This was the first example that I showed you. They were actually on TikTok Shop. And you can see that in the past 30 days, right, they've done $38,000 in revenue. However, $33,000 of that came from affiliates. So the ratio of them making sales here versus the affiliates making sales is basically 87% to affiliates. And this is what I mean by recruiting other people to sell your books, which you can see on Calidata over here. Okay, so these are other people, other creators that are making videos for them, for the brand, and literally selling the books for you. Why would they do that? Well, because they get a commission, right? And that's their whole business model, is getting commission, which is amazing for you because you only pay them once they make a sale for you. And you can also spy on what kind of videos are working and converting. So this video right here got 651,000 views, 3K in sales generated, and it's literally just a 1-minute video of someone going over the book, right? Just like reading the book. Very, very simple. All right, so that was the example with this one. The second one, this brand over here, we've seen this book earlier, right? And same thing. In 30 days, they've done close to $30,000 in revenue. Most of it came from affiliates. The next one is La Cucaracha Sara. Same thing, the language learning book that I showed you earlier. This one and this one, just these two books, right, generated over $146,000. If you actually sort to the last 30 days, it's $395,000 and $395,000. So basically, like pretty much 99% came from affiliates, other people making videos for her. Because if you remember, by the way, this is a top affiliate. Someone literally made close to $200,000 for her, which is insane. Imagine just like hiring or recruiting someone. They come in, start posting videos for you, and they go and generate 200K in sales for you. It's insane. So anyways, if you remember the brand, the main publisher of this book is a woman. Okay, but this video right here, I don't think you can hear the audio, but it's from a guy. It's a dude reading her book, okay, making funny videos. It goes viral, created $82,000 in sales, and he's crushing it. Same format of the video, right? Doing 82,000, 37,000, 30K, 23K, 23K. Okay, so that's the power of TikTok Shop again, is you can hire other people to make videos for you. Same as this one. Last one here, questions about me. We looked at this book earlier, right? The guided journal example. Okay, so these are the books, and they've done over $181,000 revenue in a month. $173,000 came from affiliates. So it's the same story over and over and over. The biggest brands that are crushing it right now are on TikTok Shop, and the way they grow is hiring other people. So if you were watching this video earlier and you're like, oh, I don't want to do social media marketing, I don't want to show my face, I don't want to constantly post videos. Well, if you would do TikTok Shop, technically, you can have other people post content for you, so you don't really have to do it yourself. And also, this is how you build a real business, right? You're not the bottleneck. You are basically just managing a lot of other people doing the work for you, but you're not doing it yourself. And that is how CEO operates in a company. The CEOs never do the work themselves. They just tell people what to do and manage them, right? So how does this exactly work? Well, I just filmed a full tutorial on how to do TikTok Shop for Amazon KDP. So again, if you want to watch this video, the link is in the description below. So why do I think this new change, this new structure of publishing is better than the old way? Well, it's because there are less books to make, right? Less books means a simpler business, and simpler is always better. Second is there are higher upside leveraging other creators. You can get other people to do the work for you, and you can just blow up like crazy, right? Same as this one, viral potential on social media. The biggest strength with social media is the potential of going viral. you know, and that's what you're getting here. And finally, you're building a real brand that you can sell. So a lot of you know that I sold my first KDP account for $820,000 without doing this. But if I would have had a bigger audience, if I would have had this operation with TikTok Shop going on, then I could have sold for way more than $820,000 probably, because that makes it seem way more like a real business than me just trying to do something over here, you know? So I personally think this is just a start. Social selling, basically selling on social media, is taking over marketing, right? People are ditching paid ads and switching over to social media. All the top companies, the brands, you know, they're all doing this. And TikTok is what is working right now within the social selling category, but YouTube, Instagram, you know, even Facebook, they all got their own shop. It's already out there. It's just not working as well as TikTok Shop. So right now we're doing TikTok Shop, but who knows, right? Because a lot of people are scared of, oh, TikTok getting shut down in the US and this and that. Well, the thing is, if TikTok gets shut down, if it disappears, right? People won't stop buying from social platforms. They're just gonna go start buying from YouTube or Instagram or different shops that already exist. The people here that's hanging out in TikTok right now is just gonna go somewhere else. They're not gonna completely stop their behavior. You know what I mean? So bottom line, this is a trend that's just gonna keep going. In my opinion, I don't think anything crazy will happen in the future. So first off, I'm not worried about TikTok shutting down or, you know, being removed from the US market at all. But even if that happens, I'm not worried once again, because the audience will always be there on another platform, right? And I can just pivot. So the final thoughts and what I think is the best way moving forward. Publish just one or couple great books. Now, you might have to publish a couple books just to get to that home run book, right? So again, it's not like the first book is always going to be smash hit, home run, and you're done with it. Like, that's probably not going to happen, but it could be possible. So just publish one or a couple great books, go to TikTok Shop and let influencers push sales is, I think, the most streamlined, quickest way to go from 0 to 10K plus per month. Now, this doesn't require being on camera or going viral yourself, because you're having other people post content for you. And I think this is a simpler, faster, and more cost-effective publishing model that anyone can follow. So hope you enjoyed that recap of the recent changes in the publishing space. I personally am more excited about publishing now than ever, so I'm coming back to publishing more myself. Like, I still do publishing myself, but I was heavily focused on teaching and making sure my students, you know, also doing well. But I personally want to come back to publishing my own books more as well, because I think this is a crazy opportunity here. But if you're watching this and you're serious about building your Amazon KDP business to the next level, if you want to learn more about everything that I talked about in this video, I do have a complete Amazon KDP mentorship program. It is the first link in the description below. It'll take you to a page like this. You can answer some questions, apply for a free discovery call, and talk to one of our coaches and see if this program is a good fit for you. We do have lessons on TikTok and TikTok Shop, so you can ask us about that and we can tell you more. But just a disclaimer that this is a paid coaching program, right? This is not just a course. This is a coaching program. Like, you get a course, but you also get coaching. So we don't work with those looking for a get rich quick scheme, okay? Because this is a real business. Real business takes time. We don't work with entitled or rude people, because we actually have to spend time with you, right? By coaching you. So if you have a bad mindset, bad personality, we don't like working with those kind of people, so we will reject you. And we don't work with people that we generally don't think we can help. So after the 30-minute call, if we feel like this is not a good fit, we'll straight up let you know. If you think this is not a good fit, you can let us know. No hard feelings. And that's the gist of my coaching program. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. If you have any questions, then just post below. The first couple hours of the video being posted, I go and respond to comments. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.